What is up YouTube, Jamie the Kid 00 here, coming at you guys with my first true deck profile, my first personal deck profile of the new October 2014 format, the YCS London format. That's what it's going to be called to me. And the first deck I'm actually going to be bringing you guys is Gigavise. As I will have said in my previous video on the ban list, one of my favourite things about it is the fact that Glow Up Bulb went back to 1, and immediately as it went back to 1, I started seeing some videos online of some really crazy Gigavise combos, and I thought, oh my god, I have to revive this deck, because it's one of my favourite decks of all time that I've been playing for fun, and I did actually play it, this is now Thursday, but I played it for last weekend's locals. I actually only went 3-2 because I'd literally not learned half the combos, and I was making them up as I went along. A fundamental misplay cost me a game, which I should have won and put myself on 4-1, but it happens, and the other game I was just completely shut out by a Vanity's Fiend, so what you gonna do, but above all that, I did actually end up placing 9th, one spot away from making top 8, one player I beat topped, and both of my losses also topped as well, so I feel that I lost to some pretty strong players. I don't feel that I had any kind of bad losses, and also the final game that I bubbled was against Evil Swarm, which is the single worst matchup for this deck, and I don't even care if you say Shaddoll is worse because of Window, because that's completely untrue, because Gigaplant is a thing. Either way, that's what I want to talk about with regards to a report. We're actually going to get into the deck profile, and if you want to hear about any combos and things like that, because they take so long, please request them in the comment section down below. And I will hopefully produce them in another video. Otherwise, I will also be linking 2 videos produced by ARG's own Joji Orlando on other combos this deck can create. However, his list does vary from mine slightly. But there are so many staple cards you have to play in this, like, there's not a huge amount of room for originality at the moment. It's simply just, what other situational combos do you want to play in the deck? So we're going to start with the plant engine. This is actually a fairly sizable plant engine for once, instead of like the 3-card plant engine, which most plant decks have been playing. 1 Glow Up Bulb. I'm so happy this card is back. It opens so many plays, it's unreal. So Glow Up, just really glad to see this card back. It's one of my favourite cards in the game. I honestly never thought it was going to be coming back, so I'm very, very pleased. I'm definitely going to be coming up with a few more ideas with regards to this card in the future. 1 Spore, equally as good, especially now that Bulb is back. It opens up a lot more plays because you can make Spore a 2, which is actually a really convenient thing that we couldn't do before. And also removing the Bulb is very strong because you can then be bringing it back with things like DDR. And it's very important to have that level 1 tuner available at all times. So there's the Spore, the 1 Dandy. If you want to make Formula Synchron in the deck, these are the 3 one-offs you want to be playing to make Formula Synchron with any kind of frequency. I should note there is only 1 in this deck because this isn't a Formula Synchron Turbo deck. This is a combo deck, and stuff is falling off the shelf behind me. So the Dandy, Spore, and Glow Up Bulb are, in my opinion, essential. To get to them, we do play the 2 Lone Fire Blossom. Still holding on to those lovely CP supers because I do love plants, and I still have Sylvans. I should probably come up with a Sylvan list to do with Glow Up Bulb, but this is just so much better than Sylvans in my opinion at the moment. So the 2 Lone Fire, and then the 2 last plants I play are the 2 copies of Gigaplant. Gigaplant is your main combo guy. He opens up a ludicrous amount of combos, which I really do need to make videos on. If any of you see my past videos on the old Gigavise deck that I played with Power Tool Dragon before Bulb came back, when Lone Fire went to 2, please go check those out, because you'll see the ridiculous potential of a Gigaplant deck, and then imagine how much more it can do when it has access to Bulb as well, which, believe me, is a lot more than even I thought when Bulb came back, because the combos just go on and on and on, simply because of the revival of that one card. Then we move on to some supporting cards. This deck only plays, I believe, 17 monsters. It's actually a very surprisingly small number. So we play 1 Debris Dragon. This is almost exclusively for the Rose Dragon. But it also gives you good access to Stardust Dragon, Scrap Dragon, with the use of Dandy tokens. And it's also really quite important for bringing back your low-level tuners from the graveyard. The amount of times I've used it to make combo plays by summoning Debris Dragon and bringing back a Bulb or a Spore, and then using those to make different things is very strong as well. So I do really like Debris Dragon in the deck. I play 3 copies of Mathematician. So many plays begin with opening this. Like, there's a ridiculous number of plays that this opens up. This and Super Solar Nutrient is a ridiculously good play. This and Spell Striker is really good, depending on what other cards you have. This Spell Striker and Supervise is game. Any way to get to Lone Fire, Supervise is game. Is an OTK. Like, this deck OTKs crazy amounts and also creates huge boards just as easily with the same kind of starts. So almost every kind of fair hand in the deck will result in a big board. I mean, it does generate some cloggy hands, but any hand with an equal ratio of playable monsters and playable spells will produce incredible, incredible boards. In support of the Mathematicians, I play 2 copies of Spell Striker because that's all you need. 3 does begin to clog a lot, but we do play the, of course, infamous 3 Reinforcement of the Army to get to this, because opening Striker Mathematician is really good. However, if you only open Striker without the Mathematician, you usually don't want it, so that's why we're playing less of it, because we only want this if we have the Mathematician, realistically. If we open this Dandy, it's kind of nice, but otherwise those are the only times you want them. Then as the 3rd Reinforcement of the Army target, I am playing 1 Rose Archer. This comes in handy, especially because emptiness is a thing. There are correct times to use this and incorrect times to use this. It really depends on how clever your opponent is. Like, if they know you play this card, if they see you rotate, a clever player will of course hold on until you don't have any plants. That's why whenever I have this, I often try to have a fluff token on my field for the entirety of my play, just so I can have a plant on board. And play clever with this. So I feel it's a very skill-intensive card in this deck, because you have to play certain different combos to play around certain traps that you know your opponent may have. And then, if we don't want to use the Rose Archer, we can of course always use it with the Redox to reborn things. One of the things I talked about with regards to Glow Up Bulb never coming back is the synergy it has with Redox. The fact that you can have Redox and Glow Up Bulb in hand, discard them both to resurrect something, and then resurrect the Glow Up Bulb and immediately synchro with whatever you resurrected. So he's really, really silly in the deck anyway. He banishes stuff for DDR. He's the Reborn. We're playing loads of Earths. I just feel he's the best Dragon Ruler to play in the deck, and he is, for that reason, the only Dragon Ruler I play in the deck. Either way, that brings us to the end of the monsters. It's actually a very, very small monster lineup. It's literally all you see here, but it's all combo related, and when I'm able to make combo videos when I have more time, you'll definitely see how ridiculous those monsters can be together. For the spells, we play 1 copy of Raigeki, the card which people were most surprised about coming back. I personally think this is a very bad card in the format. I think it's not bad for the format. I think the format is fine to handle this card. I think it can come back, definitely. I feel that it's a bad card in general, because so many decks are so advantage-based anyway. You're really not going to be pushing for huge minuses. So it's not... Let me correct myself. It's not a bad card. It's just not ridiculously advantageous. I mean, people were cutting Dark Hole anyway. And this is only a smidge better than Dark Hole. The reason why I play it in this deck is simply because of the benefit that I can create a huge board completely unmolested if my opponent has a board, and create a board that my opponent will not think is game, therefore they will be less likely to activate things like Torrential Tribute, etc., etc. I can then make my board, be happy with it, and just Raigeki them. All their monsters go, they haven't used their Torrentials and things like that, and I just swing through. That's all it is. It's OTK encouragement. Like, it's really degenerate, but that's why I play it, because it's degenerate, and this deck does make degenerate plays. So, this is like New Age Infernity, in all honesty, in the way it sometimes plays. And to be able to make that Infernity big field push, and then just Raigeki and push, why the hell not, guys? So that's why Raigeki's in here. I wouldn't play it in every deck, but it's definitely a very silly card to come back. But at the same time, its format will come. It will be very damaging in a different format. I play 1/1 for 1 because we're of course playing the 2 super strong level 1s. So why not get to them as fast as possible? Foolish Burial. This varies. This is quite nice when you if you open Dandy Foolish Spell Striker, it's quite nice. Dandy Foolish Rotor, anything like that. This opens up a lot of plays, and of course putting the Redox out is kind of nice. The 1 Soul Charge, this is just silly. This opens up so many plays. I'm glad it went to 1, because with this plant deck, with 3 of this, it'd be so good. So I'm glad Soul Charge is at 1. But as per usual, if you open this, you're gonna be just doing silly things. And yeah, that's all I want to talk about. We're just going to put those 4 up there. Then we play a number of 3-ups. Play 3 Upstart Goblin, because thinning the deck is what we want to do. We want to get to the right cards as quickly as possible. There are no 8,000 OTKs in the deck. They are all 9,000 and over, so you can afford to play at least 1 Upstart Goblin. There are a lot of the OTKs result in 12k, and one of the OTKs results in near infinite damage. So like it's just a Colossal Fighter loop, so you can deal more damage than your opponent can to you, and you win. So the 3-up start, we then play the 3 copies of Reinforcement of the Army, because searching Spell Striker is a thing, searching Rose Archer is a thing, so triple Rotor. We then play, there's a lot of combo spells in here, I'm just going to push these up I think, if I can. We then play 3 copies of Super Solar Nutrient, because we play technically 4 targets. We play the Spore, the Glow Up Bulb, and the 2 fluff tokens our Dandelion is going to be generating for us. So believe me, the Super Solar Nutrients should almost always be live, especially if you open Mathematician. If you open Mathematician Super Solar Nutrient, because of the return of Glow Up Bulb, you can do ridiculous things, which I talked about in Jokey Orlando's video, which I will link in the description below. See video number 2, I believe, or video number 1, I'm unsure. Please go check them out, because then you'll understand these combos. And then play 3 copies of Supervise, because you need them for Power Tool to search out for your Gigaplant. Gigaplant opens up stupid combos in the deck, and this is the one card that makes those combos viable in 1 turn. It's just insane. And then we play 3 copies of Different Dimension Reincarnation, again for the Powerful Dragon, to revive stuff. Mainly the Lone Fires we're going to be banishing with our Spore, and then any Earths we happen to banish with Redox. But it's mainly for the Lone Fires with Spore in the combo plays that we'll be creating with the deck. And that actually rounds off all the spells we play. It's just a huge amount of combo spells, and then just good one-offs. Literally things that let us do stuff. So, you know, it's special summoning, loads and loads of special summoning cards, thinning, special summoning, setup, special summoning, and then OTK pushes. Like, that's all the spells are in the deck. Just keeps the deck moving and gives it the power to OTK and make huge boards. Then for the traps, we play 3 copies of one of the best traps in the format right now. In fact, both of the traps are the 2 best traps in the format right now. 3 copies of Trap Stun. Vanity's Emptiness is a huge card at the moment, so you want to be able to stun them and just push through. And the other trap I play is 3 copies of Vanity's Emptiness, and this produces some of the silliest boards in the world. I have been stuck in grind situations where I've just had these 2 face down, and I've been grinding my opponent out, and I get to a point which, like, I have Lone Fire, and I have Supervise in my hand, and I go, right, my Vanities have been up for a while because I've been trying to keep my opponent slowed down. I can now stun them, so it shuts down all of my opponent's stuff, including what is usually a Vanity's Emptiness on their side of the field as well, chilling face down, waiting to try and stun me. So we're waiting to try and emptiness me when I try and make a play. So I can stun my opponent's board, turn off my emptiness, make a huge board when they have been unable to make a huge board, swing for damage, and then in the end phase the Vanity's Emptiness turns back on because Trap Stun wears off. So I now have a huge board, and if my opponent cannot remove that board, they are stuck behind the emptiness, so they have to remove the board with monster effect spells or traps, and not by special summoning into bigger stuff because they can't. So it's really, really big. Emptiness just puts in so much work, and the Trap Stuns as well. So honestly, I feel these are the 2 traps you should be playing. In 3 of, there are no others you should play. Like maybe Reckless, but this is like I can't find room for Recklesses. Like this is what you should be playing. So that's the complete main deck. It's 40 cards. I wouldn't be any more if I was playing Upstart, and I honestly wouldn't play more in the deck because there are so many things you want to get to first turn. So you want to keep it as consistent as possible. We're then playing an extra deck, which while it may look like much, it's actually half tokens. Yep, because I need fluff tokens, more fluff tokens, possible Ojama Trio tokens, Draco Sack tokens, and we always need some Pussy Fairy tokens because Nekogal is number 1. Yeah. So we'll pick all those up and go through the extra deck pretty quickly. So we're running out of time. Right, for the extra deck, we play 1 Formula Synchron. You need it to make certain plays, but you honestly have no room for multiples. I wish I could play 2 to 3 in this deck, because you will make it, and you will want to make a second one, but in all honesty, if you play your combo plays right, if you play your combo turns right, you should only need 1 when you need it. Yes, the others are quite nice and advantageous, but they're honestly quite win more, so 1 Formula Synchron is enough. Armory Arm. Important for the Colossal Armory Arm OTK. It's a thing. Watch the videos in the description. You need to have this in here. I never actually made it over the weekend because I never had the Colossal Armory Arm OTK, because in all honesty, I won the die roll a lot. Won my game 1 because I had my OTK field. Lost game 2 because my opponent went first in set 5. And then won game 3 because I had another ridiculous field. So that's, like, I never made this because I never needed the Colossal Colossal play going second, because I never had the opportunity to make it going second, but this is good. The only 5 I currently have room for is a TG Hyper Librarian. In my opinion, he's the best one currently. You'll never really be making Catastors and things like that. You'll just be making him to make more advantage, and there are silly draw plays where you can like draw 5 off of this guy, so he's just silly. So play the Librarian. Double Power Tool Dragon, very, very essential for the combo plays. Please go check out my earlier Gigavise videos to see how good Power Tool Dragon is. And then we play the 1 Black Rose as a target for the Debris Dragon, because Black Rose in the board and then going off is pretty nice, which is something you can really quite readily do. I then play some 8s. I play Stardust Dragon, because this would honestly be Spark Dragon if it was out. I wish it was Spark Dragon, because Spark Dragon Emptiness is game, in all honesty, in this deck, because all the other things you put on the field, Spark Dragon Emptiness would be game. But I play this to make the Shooting Star, and he's actually pretty good in his own right. Scrap Dragon, sometimes, especially if you make the Soul Charge play, you need to be able to go aggressive on your opponent's field, so the Scrap Dragon gives you that opportunity. And then I play double Colossal Fighter for the Colossal Armory TK. Believe me, it's a thing that you should be doing a lot. I just never had the need to do it, because my plays were just so correct, I guess. Like, the plays were so good, I never needed to make that OTK, and my opponent never had a monster on the field for it. So I guess it may depend on the way you play your OTKs or your combo plays. But the Colossal Armory Arm play is definitely something you should have access to. And I then play a Shooting Star Dragon as the last Synchro monster in the extra deck. I then play 4 Xyzes, which I should probably talk about, because only 2 of them are necessary in my opinion. I play 1 Levier, the Sea Dragon. This is a card that I never made. In theory, it's pretty good, because you can bring back some of your banished plants, like the Lone Fire. But in all honesty, I found myself in a position where every time I could make this, it was very late game, and there was nothing left in the deck for the Lone Fire to get for me. So I may find myself cutting this card for maybe another melee, or maybe another Synchro, because I need more Synchro options. Like, I really need to find room for Orient Dragon. But that's a thing for another day. I then play 1 Melee of the Trees. This is the single best rank 3. Because of course we're only playing 2. Melee opens up a silly amount of combo plays, and I honestly wish I was playing 2. There were never any situations in which I lost because I didn't have a second one of these, but in all honesty, I would have liked to play a second one of these, because it would have made boards a lot stronger. But of course, Melee is just Melee. If you're going to play a plant deck that's combo oriented, you have to play the Melee, and you can do silly things with her. I then play 1 Ptolemy M7, because you can make it with 2 Gigaplants, which I did fairly frequently. It's really quite good at putting certain cards back in my hand, which I really quite enjoyed. And I then played 1 Mecha Phantom Beast Dracosac. There were huge plays in which my field at the end of a combo play would usually be Stardust, Scrap Dragon, Dracosac, and those were just so silly. Or Stardust, Gigaplant Dracosac, and the Gigaplant still has a Supervise on it, and even if it doesn't have a Supervise, I can be normal summoning that Gigaplant next turn to get its Gemini effect. And fields like that are just so hard to crack. There were so many situations where I would make that field, my opponent would just pick up, because they couldn't do anything. Like, even if they made 101, they could like 101 the Stardust away, and that's literally all they could do, and then I could just go off by resurrecting something with my Gigaplant next turn and just going in. So you can do silly things with the deck. And that actually brings everything I have to say about the deck to a close, really. I've been having a lot of fun with this. If you like the look of it, please feel free to comment down below. Let me know what you want to see done with this. Let me know if you want to see me keep bringing more videos out with this. I'm definitely planning on either coming up with more variations on this, or trying to really figure out other things you can do with it. I'm going to try and improve it, because I really quite like it. And at the moment, I'm not taking the game hugely seriously, so if I go to YCS London and I don't want to play Burning Abyss, I'll be playing this. And I'll definitely be playing this in the side events of London. So this is definitely something I've been having a lot of fun with. I hope you have a lot of fun with it too. Deck list will be in the description. Other combo videos, as and when they come out, will also be put in the description. And also, please feel free to check out my Facebook page, which will be in the description as well. And I hope you've all enjoyed. This has been an almost 20-minute video. This has also been Jamie the Kid 00. Please leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Feel free to subscribe if you want to see more of the same, and please share this with your friends if you think they would benefit from it. And I'll see you guys next time with some more Yu-Gi-Oh! Related content. Peace out. Bye-bye.